is actually going to get the most out of a 14-piece garage cabinet set. If you're the sort of person who spends half the weekend hunting for the right wrench, the other half reorganizing a cluttered workbench, this might be a game changer. If you're just looking for a cheap shelf to put a bike helmet on, you could probably skip it. And the million-dollar question: does the price make sense for an everyday DIYer who wants a tidy garage without breaking the bank? Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I first pulled the NewAge Bold series out of the box, the first thing that struck me was the heft. The frames are 24-gauge steel, and the doors feel solid enough that you could lean on them without worrying about a bend. That sturdiness translates directly to everyday use. I set the first cabinet against the back wall of my garage, attached the slat wall backsplash, and slid a few heavy power tools onto the lower shelf. The shelf held the weight without any sag, and because the shelves are height adjustable, I could move them up a notch to make room for a stack of paint cans on the middle tier. The bamboo worktop is surprisingly smooth. A quick wipe with a damp rag gets rid of oil from the motorbike oil change I performed that morning, and it doesn't leave a ghostly ring like some laminate tops do. What really makes the set stand out in day-to-day life is the way the slat wall backsplash double as a pegboard. I've hung a couple of cordless drills, a reusable zip-tied hose reel, and even a small garden rake. The aluminum handles on the doors are long enough to give me leverage when I'm pulling a fully loaded cabinet out to the driveway, yet they are low profile enough not to snag on anything. The lockable doors give me peace of mind if I store anything I don't want kids rummaging through. My daughter's bike helmet and my partner's power tools stay out of reach. Now, let's talk about the strongest reasons you might actually want to spend your money on this set. First, the modular nature of the 14 pieces means you can start with a few cabinets and expand as your storage needs grow. Because the steel frames are uniform, you can stack them vertically or arrange them side by side without worrying about mismatched heights. Second, the high-strength steel slat wall isn't just for looks. It holds a surprising amount of weight, which makes it viable for hanging heavier items like a compact air compressor or a roll of garden hose. Third, the powder coat finish on the doors resists the kind of scuffs you get from moving tools in and out, so the set stays looking cleaner longer than a plain paint job would. Finally, the bamboo worktop is not just a decorative touch, it actually resists stains from oil, grease, and even the occasional splash of paint, which is a real win for anyone who does a bit of car maintenance in the same space. On the flip side, there are a few practical reasons you might want to walk away. The total weight capacity for each shelf isn't listed in the specs I could find, so if you're planning to stack multiple buckets of concrete mix or a full set of power saws on a single tier, you're taking a gamble. The cabinets themselves are heavy, so moving them once they are installed isn't a weekend DIY project. You'll likely need at least 2 people or a dolly. Installation requires drilling into the wall to secure the slat wall backing, which means you'll be making permanent holes in your garage, something renters might want to avoid. The lock mechanism, while functional, is a simple latch rather than a high-security lock, so it deters curious kids, but isn't a replacement for a true safe. Lastly, the bamboo surface, while stain-resistant, can show scratches over time if you're constantly sliding heavy toolboxes across it without a protective mat. If you fit the profile of someone who values a cohesive look, needs adjustable storage for a variety of tools, and is okay with a little upfront installation effort, the Bold series delivers a lot of utility for the price. It's especially compelling for homeowners who want a clean, finished appearance. Those slat wall panels turn a bare wall into a usable storage canvas without the cheap look of plastic shelving. For the hobbyist who upgrades the garage into a dedicated workshop, the lockable doors add a layer of security for expensive electronics or power tools. Conversely, if you're renting, have limited wall mounting options, or your storage needs are limited to a few lightweight items, you could probably get by with a simple metal rack or a set of freestanding plastic bins. The installation commitment and the weight capacity ambiguity are the biggest hurdles for anyone on a tight budget or who plans to move the cabinets later. And if you're the type who stores a lot of heavy, bulkier items on a single shelf, you might find yourself wishing for a higher rated load rating that's not clearly advertised. Wrapping it up, the NewAge Bold series feels like